Welcome back to GH Always channel. Today, we dive into the dramatic whirlwind unfolding in Port Charles, where family ties, heartbreak, and betrayal collide in an unforgettable saga. Jason comforts Jocelyn amidst grief. On Robin's Bridge, beneath a somber gray sky, Jocelyn Jacks finds herself face-to-face with Jason Morgan. The weight of Dex Heller's tragic death at General Hospital still lingers heavily on her shoulders. Her voice cracks as she recounts the desperate fight for Dex's life, how Elizabeth Baldwin and Dr. Isaiah Gannon did everything they could but were ultimately unable to save him. Dex wasn't just anyone to Jocelyn, he represented a bond that had grown into something irreplaceable. Jason listens, his usually stoic demeanor softening under the shared burden of loss. His own grief over Sam McCall's death is still a raw wound, and hearing Jocelyn's pain only strengthens his resolve to support her. Yet, in the background of this heartfelt exchange looms an even greater conflict. Jocelyn feels abandoned by her mother, Carly Spencer, who was too preoccupied with another crisis to comfort her grieving daughter. Jason, however, knows better than to let this rift fester. He urges Jocelyn to lean on him and promises to bring Carly back to her side. Little does Jocelyn realize, her loss is just one piece of a larger storm sweeping through Port Charles. Lulu's desperate search for Charlotte. Meanwhile, at Windermere Castle, Lulu Spencer is on a mission fueled by a mother's determination. She sneaks into the dark, imposing mansion, hoping to uncover clues about her missing daughter, Charlotte Cassadine. Valentine Cassadine's mysterious actions have left her sleepless, and with every passing day, her fears grow. In a shadowy corner, Lulu discovers a weathered box of Charlotte's keepsakes, a bittersweet trove of memories that only deepens her yearning to find her daughter. As Dante Falconeri and another officer arrive on the scene in response to a reported break-in, Lulu's desperation becomes palpable. Dante, torn between his duty as a cop and his lingering affection for Lulu, decides not to arrest her. Instead, he opens up about his own grief for Sam McCall, creating a rare moment of vulnerability between the two. Lulu voices her worst fear: what if she never sees Charlotte again? What she doesn't know is that Damian Spinelli and Anna Devane are already one step ahead, following a promising lead. Will their efforts bring Charlotte home, or is Lulu's anguish far from over? Nina's fight for Willow and the children. At the Quartermaine gatehouse, chaos erupts after an explosive revelation shakes the family to its core. Nina Reeves, determined to shield Willow Corinthos and her children from the fallout, arrives with a fierce maternal instinct. The nanny cam footage played during the Quartermaine Christmas party was nothing short of a disaster, laying bare secrets that threatened to tear the family apart. Carly, however, has her own agenda. She rushes to the scene, intent on preventing Nina and Willow from taking Wiley and Amelia Corinthos away. A standoff ensues. Carly's fiery determination clashes with Willow's quiet but unyielding resolve. What happens next isn't up to you, Willow declares, her voice steady despite the tension crackling in the air. Nina, meanwhile, tries to move the children out of earshot, hoping to protect them from the ugliness that has consumed the adults. It's a moment of high stakes and high drama, leaving viewers to wonder, will the children become pawns in this bitter power struggle, or can peace prevail? Drew stirs the pot at the Quartermaine mansion. Over at the Quartermaine mansion, tensions reach a boiling point. Tracy Quartermaine, ever the self-righteous matriarch, delivers a scathing tirade. With Ned Quartermaine standing by her side, she turns her wrath on Drew Kane. "You're not one of us," she proclaims, her tone dripping with disdain. Drew, who has always struggled to fit into the Quartermaine mold, fires back with equal venom. His past as a man who rejected privilege clashes with his recent attempts to embrace his Quartermaine identity, creating a perfect storm of resentment. The confrontation takes a personal turn when Drew confronts Michael Corinthos, bringing up Willow's past indiscretions. "Would she ever cheat on you if it wasn't real?" Drew goads, his words cutting deep. The accusation reignites old wounds, dragging up memories of infidelity and betrayal. Michael, barely containing his anger, warns Drew to back off. As the scene unfolds, the audience is left questioning whether Drew's bitterness is justified, or if his actions are only sowing seeds of further discord. Portia demands accountability at GH. At General Hospital, the fallout from Dex Heller's death takes center stage. Dr. Portia Robinson, co-chief of staff, summons Elizabeth Baldwin and Dr. Isaiah Gannon to her office. Her voice is steady but firm as she demands answers. Why wasn't Dex's life saved? Was there a lapse in judgment, or were the circumstances simply beyond their control? Elizabeth, haunted by her recent failures, faces the possibility of being sidelined from patient care. Memories of a similar tragedy involving Sam McCall weigh heavily on her mind, making her question her own abilities. Meanwhile, the question of who was responsible for Dex's safety hangs in the air. Why wasn't there a guard posted at his door? And more importantly, who had the most to gain from silencing him? As Portia grapples with these unanswered questions, the hospital becomes a microcosm of the larger mysteries swirling around Port Charles. The truth about Dex's death remains elusive, but one thing is certain: the consequences will ripple far beyond the walls of GH.